discussion about NumPy, right? Almost we have done the NumPy concept. Okay, let you be know what. Let's we can try to be understanding the next concept. So which is the pandas. Okay. Okay. So just launch the Jupyter notebook. So guys, pandas is the one of very important library. We'll go for understanding the pandas now. Okay, pandas package documentation whatever it is. So this is the pandas. No, it can help a lot of things for you. No, so we can do lot of data analysis. Okay, little bit faster. Okay, so let's go for get started. For example, if you want to be install the pandas package in your Anaconda or else in your Python, okay, this is the command. It can help you guys. This is the command. It can help you. So conda install pandas if you want to install this particular package on a conda environment. For example, if you want to be install the package on no your Python environment or else even in Anaconda also we can use the pip install pandas. Okay, this is the command. It can help you to install the package of the pandas in your Python. Now, basically the pandas which is working in a tabular format. So here, what kind of data does pandas handle? So you might be thinking, right? How? So previously, when you are trying to be understanding the NumPy, so there the NumPy which is working, it can handle the data in a numerical format, right? Numerical data, right? Array format, right? In the same way, the pandas also can handle the data, right? So what kind of data it can be handle it? So you can try to be understand here when you're working with the tabular data. Tabular data in the sense it can be columns wise or it can be rows wise, right? When you are holding the data in a rows and columns wise and each and every column it having specific name, okay, spreadsheet or Excel sheet or CSV files, okay, when the data it is in that particular format or databases, might be the data it was stored in the databases, might be the data it was stored in that spreadsheets or else CSV files or Excel files, right? So when working with the tabular data such as data stored in spreadsheets or databases, so pandas is the right tool for you to handle it that particular data. So what can we can do with help of the pandas? We can explore the data and we can clear in the data and we can process our data actually. So we can do the exploring, cleaning and processing of your data. For that one we are going to be using the pandas. Okay, so the data frame or the data type of that particular table in a pandas format that we are calling it's a data frame. So data frame is the data type. Data frame is the data type of the, okay, your pandas library or data structure. So in case of Python, we have the list, set, a string, some kind of data types we have it, right? In the same way, NumPy having its own data structure, which is ND array, right? In the meanwhile, the pandas, which is handle the data, which is the format of data frame. Data frame means the data which is formatted or which is form in the form of tables, rows and columns wise. Is it clear? Is this point is clear?
Yes,
So
yes.
this is rows wise, right? This is row 1, row 2, row 1. This is row 2, record 1, record 2, record 3, record 4, record 5, and so on. This is usually index. Okay. And so usually we can consider this is the index. And this is column 1. This is column 2. This is column 3. This is column 4. So this is the name we have it, right? This is the things we can call it the fields or else column names. Okay, clear, right? So this is the format of data which is handling by the pandas. So if in interview, if someone is asking the question, what kind of data is a pandas is handling? So you can simply say that it is a tabular format data. Okay. Now you might be thinking,
Just a question.
yes,
Sorry. So, like with respect to data analysis,
yep.
I believe like we'll be working with pandas a lot. Like, why do we need NumPy like as
I
a
already told you,
as
right?
another
So
thing?
in yesterday's class, you just go and listen it. So one more time.
Mm-hmm.
But as you question, I would like to answer it now as well. You don't need to go for yesterday class recording. It's a 1 second question answer actually. Okay.
Okay.
So let me think. You're working with Facebook data. Okay. I mean, you're working for your company and you want to go for analysis of your sentiment analysis of your company data. For example, you're working with a Walmart, okay, data science. You're working in
Mm-hmm.
Walmart as a data scientist. Okay, so this is the Walmart company which may have its own data center, right? Or it may have its own database, right? So in database, it might be working with a SQL, or they are using the, for example, Oracle database. Okay, but the same
Mm-hmm.
Walmart data which may be available in a Facebook or not, the same Walmart data which is available in a Twitter or not, same Facebook, same Walmart data which is available in Instagram or not. So if the Facebook also having its own the Facebook it's having its own database, right? Maybe they are using the MySQL. For example, Instagram they are
Mm-hmm.
using the MongoDB. So there are different databases they're using in a different companies, right? But ultimately working for Walmart, but the Walmart data which is not available in Walmart database, it may be available in different sources. Is it clear or not?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this time this time you have to be collect this all data or not. If you want to collect this all data, we are going to be using the pandas. When you are using the
Right.
pandas, we are accessing, we are exploring, first we are accessing that particular data. Okay, after we are accessing, then we are exploring, cleaning, and we are processing the data. When the data is processed, actually this is the raw data, right? We are collecting the data in a different sources and a raw material. The raw data we clean it and we processed it. Now the data which is available in a structural format, this is the data. If I'm giving to the machine learning algorithm, is never understood. Okay, your machine learning algorithms or deep learning algorithms, your data, it won't be understood. That particular situation, we can able to use the NumPy. When I'm using the NumPy, this is the data frame which is converting into the one dimensional data, sorry, n dimensional data. Once it is in the format of n dimensional data, then the machine learning algorithms can be easily do it. Clear?
Yes.
See, NumPy, which is not possible, access the data from the different databases, different type of different sources, which is not possible to connect the different sources. It just connected only simple data sources. It is not possible to connect the all kind of databases. Okay, all kind of data sources. But which is possible in case of pandas. But the pandas data type which is not handled by the machine learning algorithms. That's the reason we're going to be using the NumPy. Okay, to convert your data frame into the n-dimensional data frame format. Then the machine learning algorithm can be understood. Then it can be do the model actually. Clear?
Yeah. Thank you.
Any question?
So is it basically the function of reshaping here?
You are not making the reshaping, and some reshaping is a one just object. Okay, it's just one attribute. Usually we are doing lot of exploration, like we are handling the null data, we are handling the okay missing data, we are handling the duplicate data, we are handling the unwanted data, and you are handling the outliers. So lot of statistical terms we are going to be handling with help of the NumPy only. Okay,
All right, thank you.
but pandas is just only accessing, exploring, cleaning, and processing. Only these three steps will do it. But NumPy, it will do lot of analysis. Okay, clear? And we will understood actually once we are stepping into small programs, then or else we can go for small projects. Then we can understood. I hope you guys are clear about my question. Sorry, my answer. Okay, now Raj, Akhilesh not yet joined.
Okay, I'll ping him. Give me a minute.
Sure. Okay, let's. Srujan, can you hear me right? So as of now, I just explained the data type
Yes.
or what type of data which is handled the okay pandas library or pandas package. Now how we can able to read that particular tabular data and how we can able to write that particular tabular data. Okay, we just look this one, we can try to understand. We have a lot of things we have to do it. Pandas supports the integration with many file formats or data sources out of the boxes: CSV, Excel, SQL, JSON, Parquet files. Okay, and importing the data from each of the data sources provided by the functions. To prefix is a read something. For example, if you want to read the HTML file, read underscore and HTML. For example, if you want to read the CSV file, so read underscore CSV actually. If you want to read the XLS files, read underscore XLS files. So this is the way we can able to read the any type of file format data with help of the read underscore. The pandas which is providing the function, the function name is read underscore followed by the corresponding file format. Okay, so then it can be creating the data frame that particular data format. Okay, for example, the data which is in Excel CSV file, that data we can able to read with help of the read underscore CSV. If you want to read the Parquet files, read underscore Parquet files. If you want to read the HDF files, then we can read underscore HDF files actually. So this is the way we can able to read each and every file, and then it default it's converting into the data frame. The data frame means which is in a rows and columns wise. For example, you have some data frame, I want to be restore or I want to be write that data, that I want to be convert the data frame into the okay physical file. So which kind of physical file I want to be convert? For example, I want to be converting into the CSV file, then we can use the 2 underscore CSV. If you want to be converting into the Excel files, then 2 underscore Excel files. So this is the way we can use read underscore 2 underscore. This is the two files will be, this is the two methods are used to store as well as retrieve the data from the different sources. Is it clear or not?
Yes. The question is like, does the data that is read from these files has to be structured or unstructured?
It can be anything. Maybe some data it was not in a structured data. It can be unstructured data. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So this is a small example, guys. See, here we have the PD is nothing but pandas. We are importing different name. So PD, like import pandas as PD. Okay. Read underscore CSV. For example, you have some data source in your local computer. So this is the path. Inside of this particular path, we have some particular file name, tydonic.csv. Okay. So this is the CSV file we can read and we are holding into one particular variable. This is the variable is the data frame. Okay. So when we are printing that one, it will be something looks like this is the column name 1, this is column name 2, this is column name 3 and so on. It having each and every column name and corresponding data. See, sometimes your data which were not updated, then which is empty box, right? That empty box, it can be considering the none, NaN, none. Clear? So here we have a method is head method. Head is the method, it will help you to display the top records. If I mention the head of 8, which means that maximum it can be display the only 8 records. Even you have the thousands of records are there. from that particular thousands of records, we want to display the top 8 records, then we can use the head method. Okay, if you're not providing any argument, then default it can be printing only 5 records, or it can be accessing only first 5 records. Meanwhile, I want to know the each and every column. So here we have the multiple columns, right? So there are 12 columns are there. So column 1 data type, column 2 data type, column 3 data type. That means this is a column which can be holding some kind of data, right? What kind of data which is holding? I want to know that. Then we have attribute is D types attribute. D type attribute. Clear? Is it clear? So here I used the D types. Then so data frame dot D types, it is listing the, which is listing the each and every column data type. Okay, in a data frame. For example, whatever the data we have it, that I want to be converting into the, I want to be stored in a Excel file. So you have some kind of data frame. The data frame is Titanic data frame. The data frame I want to store in a physical file. Then we can use the 2 underscore. I want to store as a Excel file format, so that 2 underscore Excel, and here you just providing the file name, and this is the file name with this particular file name, which is creating the physical file on a local computer. Okay. Meanwhile, we can able to mention the sheet name. So with this particular sheet name, we are going to be holding this particular data frame of the Titanic. When I mention the index equal to false, so basically you can see here, this is the index, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the index, right? This is the index also can be created as a new column when you are trying to be storing into different file format. When you are not mention the index equal, when you're mentioning index equal to true, which means that this is the index. Actually, this is the index. This is the index also, it can be converting as the column, as a one column. So I don't want that particular column. Then we just mention the index equal to false. Then the Titanic data frame index, which is not considering the as a new column for the inside of the Titanic dot Excel. Okay. So after you storing this particular Excel data, if you want to be read it one more time, we can read underscore Excel file format, and whatever the sheet name you want to be read. For example, the Excel, it might having the lot of sheets, right? So which sheet you want to be accessed, that particular sheet name we can provide it, that specific sheet name only it can be read. Okay. So for example, here we have info method. So info is the method, what it will do, whatever the data frame we have it, for that particular data frame, how many number of columns are there, and what could be the data type of each one, and how many what are the non-null values are there. So usually you might have the 291 entries are there. Out of 291 entries, only age column having the 714 records are the non-none. That means rest of the records are the rest of the entries which can be considering the as a none. Okay, here cabin. So we have totally 291 entries, right? Out of the 291 entries, there are 204 values only valid data. Rest of the data is not valid data. Okay, so this kind of information we will get with help of the info method. Clear or not? Clear or not?
Yes.
So this kind of methods, every small project we are going to be working with this kind of functions. You don't worry. Okay, practically also we will look for it. Just try to be understand, this is the tutorial. It's not a tutorial by anyone. It's a Pandas direct document. Whenever you're free, we can go ahead and read it. It's a simple thing actually. Okay. So that's meaning what exactly that each and everything it can be explained in a proper way. So okay, so how to select the subset? See, it's a one of the usually used this kind of okay logics. See, here we have the 4 columns are there, right? Out of the 4 columns, I want access only this yellow color columns I want to be access. Okay, this gray color columns I don't want it actually. Okay, for example, the Titanic data frame, which is having the tall records and passenger ID, survived and P class and fare and cabin and embarked, right? And like this we have a lot of records are there. So I want access only age record. So here we can give you the data frame and square brackets, and inside of the square bracket you just mention the column name inside of the, so whatever the column name we have it, that same column name we have to provide inside of the string format. Then it will be holding the column of age or age column. We are just accessing that age column and we are holding into one particular variable. So now if you go ahead with ages of ed, we're just displaying the ages of the first 5 records. Okay, ages of the first 5 record. This is the way, whatever the specific column you want to access, you just give you the square brackets and column name. This is the one way. And so I want to find the what type of this one. For example, data frame in the sense which is having the rows and columns, right? If we have only one column, then it could be series format. Okay, the type of data is, it's a series, pandas score dot series. Okay, and I want to know the data type of I want to know the shape of it. We just use the shape. Then this is the column is having the 891 entries, 891 records we have it. That means 891 rows or we have it. Clear? So for example, I want to access the age and gender as a one group or one particular data frame. Actually Titanic, which we have the 12 records, right? Out of that one, I want to access only two specific records. Sorry, I want to access only two specific columns as a new data frame. Then you just give you the list of the column names you are giving as input for the, or as you just give you as index for the Titanic. Then it can be converting the, or it just accessing the age and gender or that specific column we can able to access as a one data frame. So here age underscore gender is, one new data frame. Clear? So this is the data frame which we have only two columns. One is age and gender. So but actually Titanic is having the 12 records, right? Or 12 columns, right? Out of the 12 columns, we are accessing only two columns with this particular syntax. This kind of operations also we can performing with help of the pandas. Any questions?
So we are using the two square braces because we are trying to fetch two different columns.
Sorry, I can't get your question.
In the Titanic, the one that stuff that you highlighted right now, it has two square braces. Is there a reason why?
Yeah, because of this is the one column and this is one column. I want to make it list of columns as a one group, so that I written the multiple columns as a one group. But when you are mentioning only one column, then you don't need this square brackets.
Okay.
When we have the, when you want to be access the more than the one column as a one group or one data frame, then we have to mention that all columns in a single square brackets. That single square brackets multiple columns we should provide as input for the Titanic data frame. Then it can be accessing the two records. So here we are accessing the two columns we are accessing as a one new data frame. Okay, so now we can just find the data type. Previously when you're accessing only single column, then it is a series type, right? When we are accessing the more than the one column, then it could be the data frame. When we are accessing the two columns as a one data frame, then the data type is data frame. When you are accessing only single column, by default it is a series data frame. Okay, so if you want to find the shape of it, there are two columns and 291 entries. Okay, so how do I filter the specific row? Previously you accessed the specific column, right? Now I want to go for accessing the specific row. If I want to go for accessing the specific row, okay, for example, here we can use the conditions. So we don't have any specific indexing concepts actually in a pandas, but I'm just giving one particular column. And I'm mentioning the condition. So whose ages is more than the 35. So this is the condition. If I'm given as a condition to this particular data frame, then it will be accessing all the records whose age is more than 35, which is go for accessing all the entries of all people when the age is more than the 75, sorry, 35. This is the condition. So inside of the square brackets, we can mention the not only column names, we can mention the some conditions. Whatever the condition is satisfied, that particular entries we can receive it. This is the one way. I'm interested passion older than 35. Okay, so this is one thing. And for example, if I'm not giving this condition inside of the, okay, data frame index, if I'm giving just a condition, it just returns the true or false. That means whichever the thing which was returns the false, that particular entry it was written. So here the column row number 1, entry number 1, it's a true, so that it's a, this is the thing it was accessing. For example, this is false, 2 is false, 4 is false, and so here whatever things which is true, that particular recordings it can be accessing, or entries it will accessing. So we can give you this is the condition as a index for this particular data frame. That condition, which attributes or which things are satisfied, that entries it can be written it. Okay, so this kind of conditional expression we can use it, less than, equal to, not equal to, greater than or equal to, we can use this kind of thing. So whichever the entries are returns true, that particular entries it can be accessing. So for example, we are accessing the more than 35 age people, right? So that how many entries I wanted, how many people they are more than 35. If I want to know it, then simply we can able to go for shape of that particular data frame, new data frame. It was written the 217, right? 217 in the sense there are 217 entries are there, 217 people are, it's the age is more than 35. Okay, for example, p class. Okay, so here inside of the p class, okay, so p class is one particular column inside of the p class. So is there any entry which is having the 2 and 3, is in 2 and 3, yes, 2 and 3. So basically in a p class we have multiple things are there, right? I mean, there is different elements are there, maybe 1 2 3 4 5 6, something like this. What are the classes we have it, that all classes they might be entered. I would like to go for accessing the cabins of the class 2 and 3. Then we just go for the p class. So from this particular p class, if I'm using the is in the sense it can be written as the true when this is the p class is 2, or if the p class is 3. So if any p class which is in either 2 or 3, then that particular records only we are going to be accessing. Okay, so we are accessing all the entries because of you given this particular condition as the index of this particular Titanic or data frame, that all entries which are the classes are 2 and 3, that all records we are holding into class 23. Okay, 2 3. So that records I want to know how many number of records. If I want to know that, then simply we can go ahead with the shape, or else same condition we can use in a different way. Or keyword we can, or this is the or. But in case of Python, for doing the or operation, we can use the or, right? But in Pandas, if you want to be performing the or logical operation, we can use the single slash, okay, single pipe symbol. Okay, so this is one condition. If the Titanic class either 2, if the Titanic class either 3, if any one of it the condition is true, that particular record we are going to be accessing. So previous one and this one will be giving the same result. But here the condition is little larger because of you are using the equal to and or operator and equal to operator. But here we used one particular function, that is in. So that is in which is already defined in the Pandas. Okay, any question? Okay, I want to work with passenger data for which age is known. Known in the sense what, man? Known in the sense if the entry, whatever the data, whatever the records we have it, whatever the passengers we have it in this particular Titanic data set. Okay, maybe some people they enter the ages, maybe some people they're not enter the ages. Okay, I want to know which people they enter the ages. I want to access that particular records only. Okay, this is the cleaning. I already told you, right? Pandas, it can help you exploring and cleaning and processing. Now I'm cleaning actually. What I'm cleaning here, I would like to go for not na in the sense, in this particular column, in this age column, okay, if data which is not none, I already told you, right, if something we are not entered, then it can be nan. If is not data in column is, or data entry is not none, okay, not na, if this is the condition which is the things are satisfied, that particular entries it can be accessing, and I'm holding into the age underscore any one of the variable. Okay, so here the age, it makes sure that it should be known thing. So if you want to know the, if you want to do this kind of operation, we can use the not na in the sense, it will returns the true, it will returns the true when the entry is not none. If the entry is none, then it can be returns the false. That is the meaning of the not now. So here it can be here we have some explanation. Okay, there are 714 records are the known people, and rest of the people ages you don't know. Okay, so how do I select the specific row and column? So previously we are accessing the all the columns of the some specific rows, right? Previously, and one before that one, we're accessing the all the records of some specific columns, right? But now I want the sub data frame in the sense, I want access only this yellowish things. Okay, like this record, and this is the 4 records only I want access. In the middle I don't want access. Before the entry and middle entry and after the entry and some specific columns I don't want it. Only some specific columns, only some specific rows. If you want access, then we are going to be go for this particular concept. For example, here we have a condition. Oh, sorry. Here we have a lock. Okay, this is the lock which is providing the, this is the lock which is providing the some specific things. So this is the records. This can be used to accessing the records. Okay, this can be used to access the rows data. So column, this is the lock which we have the 2 arguments. First argument is what are the rows we want access. I want access the accessing the rows whose age is more than 35, and I want to access that particular names. That means column data we are accessing, age and columns. You're going to be accessing the this age of this particular names people I want access. Okay, so now it was just printing the names because of we are accessing the name column data. So what column you mention, so that particular specific things we are going to be accessing. Name records we are accessing, okay, whose age is more than 35. So we are going to be accessing only one column, or one column data, and whose age is more than 35. That's the meaning of it. So for example, iLock, I can use it when I'm using the iLock, which here also we have the 2 arguments. So here you can mention the index. Previously you mentioned the condition, right? Whenever I'm using the lock, we have to mention some kind of conditions. So here, if I'm giving the 9:25, which means that 9 to 24 records, 9 to 24 records of the 2 column and 3 column and 4 column we can access. Okay, so this is the 2 column. Okay, this is the 3 column, and this is the 4th column. P class, name and gender, these are the 3 columns we are accessing. And what are the entries I would like to go for accessing? From record 9 to, from record 9 to 24 only we are accessing. So this is the way iLock will help you. iLock will help you to accessing the some specific rows and some specific columns. Previously lock we used, you mentioning the some specific column name and you mention some kind of condition. If you know what things you want to access, then we can go for this one. You don't know which location which is there, that if you want to go with conditions. Okay, iLock and lock both are doing for accessing the sub elements or sub records or sub elements or some specific rows and specific columns data we can access. Okay, so iLock 0,3 in the sense 0 to 2, what are the records we have it? 0 to 2, what are the records we have it that we can access, but we are going to be assigning that particular record. So in the column number 3, what we are doing actually, we are updating as the anonymous. So first 3 records of the column number 3, whatever we have it, that means P class. This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, and the fourth column 3 means it's a this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So 3 means fourth column. Okay, 3 means fourth column. So fourth column, what we have it, that particular column of the first 3 records we are updating as the anonymous. That also we can update with help of the equal to assignment operator. So this is the way we can use the iloc method. So in upcoming sessions, when I'm doing some kind of data science projects, machine learning projects, when I'm using the pandas, if I'm using the iloc or lock, read underscore csv, read underscore to underscore csv, or else when I'm using the conditions inside of it, when I'm to accessing some specific columns. So if you want to know those things, we have to read this particular document. Okay, clear? So meanwhile, if we have some kind of data, I want to plot it. So this is my record. I want to plot actually. I want to create the plot. I want to plot this particular all the records. Then we can use the plot method. So we are going to be importing the pandas, and we have the matplotlib. It can be help you to plot it. Okay. So here we have some kind of air quality data. We have it, that particular record, we are reading it. Okay. So just try to understand, this is the data which is available in online. We can download it actually. Okay, and we can open that particular file, and we can display it, and I want to be plotted. So here air quality is my data frame. I just used the plot method. When I used the plot method, it will be plotting all the time series data. Okay, line plot which is plotting. So station fair and station anti-wrap and London. So this kind of each and every date wise which is plotting. So you don't need to mention it, automatically the data what we have it. See, this is the date wise, each and every column data which is plotting, and different legends. Okay, different colors. So you are not plotting with a specific thing actually. Directly we can plot it, and we can just use the plot plt.show. Whatever you plotted, that we can show in the Jupyter notebook itself. Okay. But now I want to plot only one specific record or one specific column. Okay, or one specific field. Then we just give you index, and you just give you the column name. And if I'm using the plot, we are going to be plotting only one field information. Okay, if you want to plot scatter in the sense circles. So when you are working with matplotlib, so scatter is nothing but circles. Okay, so x will be the station London, and y will be the station Paris. Okay, you're giving some kind of relation between those things. Okay, so most of the things, this is the area will be most, the data it can be spread between the station Paris and station London. So this kind of data visualization we can do with help of the matplotlib. And box plot, so you just give you the plot dot box, then which is go for plotting the each and every column box plot. So the box plot, which is very very important concept actually, box plot. This box plot I can explain you when I started the statistics. Okay, so some things which is having the circles, right? What is indicating that? See,
Are
station.
those outliers?
So this is the data is, and this is the data is, and this data is, and this data is, what is it? This data we are calling it outliers. So outliers in the sense the data which is not good. There could be some bad data. Okay, the data what it could be fall in between this region or this range. Sorry, this range. The data what it is fall in between this range. The data what it is fall in this particular this range, then that is a good data. Okay, what is good data, what is bad data, that we can talk in a statistics class. But if you want to look in a graphical format, then we have directly box plot is there. How the box plot is working, that everything I can explain you in an upcoming session in a statistics class. Okay, but this is the data, this is the pandas, and it can help you when combination of the pandas and matplotlib, we can display that particular attributes of the each and every column data. Okay, I mean graphical, you can representing in a graphical format. This is exploration. I already told you, right? Pandas will help you for cleaning, previously for accessing the non-none data and accessing the none data. Okay, and some kind of specific data only we are accessing, that we can call it say cleaning. Okay, whatever the data we have it that you want to be shown in a graphical format, that we are going to exploration. So meanwhile here we have the area, so we could able to go for figure the one particular thing. So this is one graph, and this is one graph, and this is one graph. This is the three graphs we are plotting one by one. Okay, which is what exactly this data is talking. If you want to be understood, make sure that you should know the statistics. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys, why the statistics is important. When you know the concept of statistics, then only we can understand what it is talking without any explanation. Clear? So which means in the year of 2019 2022, oh sorry, 2019 May 2022, see here, station any wrap is having the high, so there is a more information is there, that means more number of elements are there. Okay, again station Paris. Okay, this is for station London. So this is the way we can able to go for display the area plot. So this is subplot, we can able to go for plot the, okay, subplot. So figure 12 comma 14, that means the size, width, height will be the 4 and width will be the 12. This is the figure size. And so if you want to be use the axis, with the help of the axis we can do any kind of operation on this particular plot only. Okay, so axis set y label, some y also where y name and x name we can save with help of the y label and x label. And this is the plot. If you want to save it in your local computer, then we can able to use the save pick. And if you want to display this particular visualization, we can use the show method. This is the way we can able to combining Matplotlib and Pandas. Okay guys, the rest of the things like how to create the new columns and how to calculate the summary statistics, reshape of the layout, how to combine the data frame data from the multiple tables. If you have the two different tables, so if you want to combine it, then you can do it. How to handle the time series data with ease, and how to manipulate the textual data, comparison with other tools, that everything we can understood in this particular document. This is the freely available on internet. Okay, you just go for the pandas.py.org and we can look for it, and we can try for the rest of the things. If you're not understood, I'm just for go on read, you just go for read and each and every concept. Actually, if you're not understood, you don't worry, in upcoming sessions also we can understood. Okay, most probably tomorrow, sorry, from the Monday onwards, we can recap our statistics classes. If and only if you know the Pandas, Matplotlib and NumPy, then only we can easily handle the statistics class. Otherwise it could be tough to understood in a programs wise. Okay, theoretically we can understood, mathematically you can understood, but after you understood the mathematics, then we have to go ahead with some examples, right, in a coding wise. For that one I explain these things. Anyway guys, I hope you understood, and we can go for the Pandas data document in our Google. And if you're not understood, again Monday we can continue our session on the same Pandas. If you're finished that thing in these 2 days, then we can continue the statistics from the Monday onwards. Clear? Clear, right?
Yep, it's
Okay.
clear.
Okay, bye.
Yes.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Yes.